Hey, what's up, everybody? And it is officially November by the time you guys are gonna get this, but for now it's Halloween night. I'm narrating this Halloween night. We just got back from trick-or-treating. My little girl's so cute, but to celebrate, well, at least for me to celebrate, I'm gonna narrate this battle. Yeah, against Argon657, and this is an NU match, and as you can probably tell by the length of the video already, it was a pretty excellent match, and yeah, it's a just really good one. So. Sit tight, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So in comes my Primeape, and this is a Choice Scarf Primeape, a Pokemon that is really has a lot of potential in pretty much every tier you want to use it. It can be very effective. Primeape is one of those underrated Pokemon, and it's not just because it's an NU tier. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch out because I didn't want to get outsped potentially by a Choice Scarf Raichu, a Alolan Raichu. Now he's going to actually counter, which makes me think, okay, must be a really weird Alolan Raichu, it's just going for the counter right off the bat. So, yeah, that's an interesting play. Thankfully, I was able to dodge that by going out into my Probopass, and then I just go for a Volt Switch to get into Mismagius against this Hitmontop. Now, I decided to go for the sub. This guy could have, like, knockoff or something, but I decided to scout what he was going to try to do to me, and he's up trying for the Toxic, so that's really awesome for me, because that's basically a free sub. And I do carry the Dazzling Gleam on my Mismagius, so I do have a way to super effect this Hitmontop. And I believe he has actually Hitmonlee as well on his team, so my Mismagius might actually be crucial to counter those two Pokemon. Interesting that he's bringing two Hitmons. He's only missing Hitmonchan, so yeah, pretty heavy on the fighting types. Anyway, just going to go for the Calm Mind as he switches out, and there's Braviary. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get the damage I can. Obviously, I can't go for my Stab Shadow Ball because this guy is a part normal type. So I'm just going to try to go for the Dazzling Gleam and see how much I do at +1. It probably won't do half. But, you know, it's free damage at this point. Plus, he's going to Brave Bird, so he's going to take some recoil there. So, get some good damage here with Mismagius. So, that's not so bad. And I get a scout what this guy's going to try to do. And as you can see, he outspeeds my Mismagius, so I know it's Scarfed. So, I know it's locked into Brave Bird, first of all, and I know that what set it is. So, that's pretty much advantage me. Alright, so in comes the Steelix, though. He's going to probably try to predict my switch, and indeed I do switch out. And I go into my Probopass, and now normally, I mean, I am trapping him here, because I do have the Magnet Pole ability, but I really have nothing to do to Steelix, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch out into my Vaporeon, knowing that he can't switch out this turn. He's probably just going to want to set up Stealth Rocks anyway, and there you go. He does indeed go ahead and set up the Stealth Rocks. He's probably not going to want to stay in against my Vaporeon, fearing a Scald, but I'm just going to go for it, and yeah, maybe I can get the Scald off on this Sceptile. Sceptiles can be physical, so it might be decent to get off if I can get one, plus the residual damage. I end up not getting the burn, but whatever. He ends up actually being special, I think, so it's not like a big deal or anything. I'm going to go out in my Probopass again, as he just goes for a Leaf Storm, which, yeah, is not resisted by Probopass, rather. It is neutral, and, yeah, that does a lot of damage, so definitely a special-oriented, and even at -2, I'm not entirely sure if I can live another one. I decide to just go for it, and my Probopass is going to die, so that is unfortunate. And, yeah, I'm just going to bring out my Cinccino, which is I think I pronounced it right. Cinccino? I don't watch the anime. Leave me alone, guys. I'm going to go with Cinccino. But yeah, this is really, this Pokemon has Skill Link, and it's actually a really potent offensive force, as you're about to see in a minute. Now, he's getting intimidated here. Well, not right now, because I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I actually predicted to switch in Hitmontops, or something like that nature, so I decided just to U-turn, which would get me the safe switch back into Mismagius. Now, as we saw earlier, he went for the Toxic last time. He's probably not going to go for that again, but I'm pretty confident. No, he might still have you know, the dark move, the knockoff, but I decided to go for another sub. I think it's pretty safe overall, and indeed he is just going to try to switch right out into his Braviary, which I do go for the sub again. I don't get a Calm Mind, though, this time, so I don't think I'm going to be able to actually kill this thing. So what I do instead is I know that he's going to, he has to attack me, he's a Choice Scarfer. I'm going to go for the sub again, and I'm hoping that this residual damage he's going to be taking here with his Brave Bird this turn will put him in killing range. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for, except it doesn't really do that much because Mismagius doesn't have a whole lot of, you know, HP. But I did get another sub off, and I'm like, you know what, let's just try to go for it. Just going to go for another Dazzling Gleam. I don't have the +1, but I'm hoping that with this another round of Brave Bird Recoil, I might be able to pick it off. I really should have went for the sub again, because I think that would have actually put me in range. Instead, I just barely don't kill the Braviary, which is, yeah, I guess whatever. But I do want to also keep Mismagius alive, because, like I said, Mismagius, I think, will be helpful at countering the Hitmonlee and the Hitmontop, which it doesn't seem as Hitmontop has anything to do to me at all. So That's pretty cool. Anyway, he's going to go to my Vaporeon. I am physically bulky, and I know that HP is just going to kill himself with the Brave Bird. I'm hoping to take it okay. And I ended up doing a little more than half, which is a little more than I would have liked. I guess he might actually be adamant. I'm not sure. But, yeah, Vaporeon takes damage, and in comes Sceptile again, because that's a pretty much safe switch for him. I do not have Ice Beam on this Vaporeon. I believe this is more of a Toolbox Vaporeon. I believe it's more of a Cleric, rather. I think I have Wish, I have Protect, I have Scald. I can't remember my fourth move. I'm pretty sure it's a non-attacking move, though. I think it actually might be a status move. I think it might be Toxic. Either way, nothing to do this Sceptile at all. So I'm just going to go to my Druddigon, which is my only real resistance to Grass at this point, so... just going to go for it. This is a Choice Banded Druddigon, I think. So, yeah, just going to go ahead and I kind of predict him switching here, I think, as he goes out to Steelix, which is more or less kind of an obvious switch. And I don't. I go for the Sucker Punch, hoping to get some damage on him. I'm locked into Sucker Punch, though, and I don't want to die to Steelix, so I'm just going to switch out on my Vaporeon again, which should counter the Steelix pretty well. He's going to, though, predict this excellently. Just go for the Toxic. Knowing that I'm probably going to try to go back in my Vaporeon, and that is actually going to cripple my Vaporeon. Obviously, most Vaporeons are bulk-oriented, so they don't really like being Toxic Poisoned because they want to be out, a few turns at a time, and that poison is going to rack up. Now, I do have a way to reliably recover my health with a combination of Wish and Protect, but, yeah, I'm just going to go for that Wish, and I have a hard decision here. I can either try to switch something in, and then it would get healed by the Wish, or I can try just to Protect and get HP back on Vaporeon. I believe I try to switch. And, yeah, I decided to switch out, knowing that this is pretty much a free switch out. I go back into Druddigon. I don't think he could kill me. He actually might be able to kill me in Leaf Storm here, so it's kind of a risk. Instead, he just goes for the Giga Drain. I think he might have been able to kill me if he Leaf Stormed. So, real fortunate for me that he decided to Giga Drain. And, yeah, now I'm going to be able to get pretty much all of my HP back on Druddigon, because Wish actually uses the half of the HP of the user, not the recipient, as of, I believe, Gen 5. So Druddigon is going to now become really healthy. Anyway, in comes Hitmontop again. He gets that Intimidate. I just go for a Fire Punch this time, figuring it'll, kill the Sceptile if he stays in. If not, then it'll do something to whatever it goes into, and doesn't really do that much to Hitmontop after the Intimidate, but it does enough, I guess. I'm just going to go into my Miss Magius, because I don't think he has anything to do, like I said. I'm kind of fearing that he might try to go for the Toxic, and indeed he does, so that was a good prediction on him twice, trying to go for the Toxic on my Druddigon, probably predicting a switch out, and now that I'm Toxic Poisoned, Miss Magius is going to not be as useful as it was before, because, yeah, obviously I can't really go for the sub while Toxic Poisoned, so I become less predictable, or rather more predictable. But yeah, he's going to go to switch out. He's going to go back into his Steelix, knowing that I really don't have much to do to him except for maybe Shadow Ball. And that's what I decided to go for, because I was kind of predicting this Steelix to switch in. And I ended up getting a crit on it, so that does a lot of damage. And I got the special defense drop. So if that was enough, now I know for sure I can 2-hit KO the Steelix if he wants to just sack it off. And yeah, I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball again. I don't think he is really a switch in for it at this point. So it's pretty safe play. If I get rid of this Steelix, just one less thing he can switch in on. Certain things, and yeah, it's just another bulky Pokemon gone, so really fortunate for me. I probably only needed one of those two things, but I got both, so there you go, a little bit of luck in my favor there, and in comes his Raichu again, which I believe can outspeed Miss Magius, but I just decided to stay in. I was kind of hoping it was maybe like a Focus Sash that wasn't max speed, because we saw the counter earlier. But he is indeed, looks to be at max speed, because he does outspeed my Miss Magius and just goes for the Psychic. Now I'm going to go back to my Cincino again, and I'm just going to go for the Tail Slap. I believe I'm Scarf Cincino. And as you can see, guaranteed 5 hits with Tail Slap, with Stab. Yeah, Cincino can be an absolute truck without like any investment at all. So that Tail Slap is going to be able to take that guy out. Now in comes Hitmontop. He gets the Intimidate off on me. Actually, this might be a Banded Cincino. Does Cincino outspeed Raichu? I don't remember. I can't remember. I know I'm Choice. I just don't remember which one it is. But yeah, just go for that Tail Slap. Take it out that Raichu easily, and he's just going to go for the Toxic on his Hitmontop. I'm not really sure why. It's not like the Toxic would really help him that much on Cincino. But yeah, I'm just going back into Vaporeon anyway, so that doesn't do anything, obviously. So waste of a turn there. And I think I'd go for another Wish, trying to get my HP back on Vaporeon. Now, in comes Sceptile again. Once again, I have the option. I can either try to switch out and get a relatively safe switch, or I can stay in and try to heal Vaporeon some. I believe this time I decided to go for the Protect to heal Vaporeon. Now, obviously, the Toxic is still racking up at this point, because now this is the third turn. That's a downside, especially when you're Wish Protect. the Toxic Poison really does hurt the Vaporeon, so, or a Vaporeon, or anything anyway, because obviously it takes me 2 turns to reliably recover, which by that time, Toxic Poison is going to obviously start racking up. So I get up to about half, all things considered, a little over actually, so I decide to stay in and try to get the Toxic off on the Sceptile, hoping that he over-predict, and he does over-predict, which is huge. He ends up going for the Focus Blast and missing. I don't think that would have killed me, or maybe it would have, I don't know. But either way, that Focus Blast lets me live another turn, because I'm pretty sure if he did hit, I would die at the end of the turn by Toxic. But I do get a live with Vaporeon, and then do that Focus Blast miss, and give that thing Toxic Poison. So now he can't just sit on his Sceptile forever and a day anymore. So that's actually pretty critical. Now in comes Hitmon Lee, and I just go for the Protect, thinking that he would, attack me. Now obviously my Toxic Poison is racked up more than his at this point. At this point, I think I'm just trying to sack my Vaporeon. And yeah, he's just going to go for the Poison Jab on this guy. And thinking Scarfed, but it might not be. Hitmon Lee gets a lot of priority moves as well. Might be Choice Banded. I'm not really even sure at this point. But I decided to go for my Primate because I am Scarfed, and I know that I should be able to outspeed this guy no matter what, unless he has a priority move. And he does go ahead and switch out into Hitmon Top again. So he wants to get that Intimidate off. And, yeah, that's going to... But I have Defiant, that's right. So you don't really want to intimidate a Primate, but just go for a close combat. And +1, that's going to be a solid, well, a 2-hit KO. Now, I have some decision-making here. We know this guy doesn't have knockoff, but he can get Mach Punch. And I'm like, that'll do quite a bit to Primate at -1, because Primate is not bulky at all. So I decided to go into Druddigon, thinking the Mach Punch was coming. Ends up being that he bluffed me pretty darn good. He just goes for the close combat. He does not have Mach Punch on the thing either. Which is pretty good for me. I should have stayed in. +1, my Primate would have been able to probably sweep this guy, or... Yeah, but he bluffed that pretty well, and he gets some nice damage on my Druddigon thanks to it. And then he just gets another, because he's going to be, obviously, outspeed my Druddigon. And I just lose Druddigon for nothing. So that was a good bluff on his part, bluffing that Mach Punch. But now I know he doesn't have it. I'm just going to go right back. I go back into my Cincino. And, yeah, I was also afraid of Mach Punch against my Cincino as well. But now I know I can just tail slap the thing, and bam! Go away, Hitmon Top. And down it goes. Any switch, he's going to go out into his Chickenfoot here. His Hitmon Lee. And now's the moment of truth. We get to see what this set is. He just goes for the Mach Punch. So that's a priority move anyway. And I believe that means that guy's banded. So I'm just going to go to Primate. And I actually thought he would switch out here to sack his Sceptile to get -1 defense on me because I'm using close combat, obviously. But instead he stays in. Now he's banking on the fact that his Sceptile can live a Primate hit. Now I am jolly Scarfed, and this Sceptile is nearly full HP. Can I kill it? Let's find out. I do take it out, so that was super critical. We did the calc. Actually, the odds were not in my favor. I got quite a bit of luck in this battle, but still, pretty damn excellent. I think with that amount of damage he had on him, I had about a 30% chance to kill him, if I remember the calc correctly. But it was a super close match, and really well played on both sides either way. And yeah, one that I probably should have lost, but some luck was in my favor, and that's the game sometimes. Either way, we're gonna have to do another one real soon. Argon was a fun match. So today's question of the day is, being that for me it's Halloween, maybe not for you guys, but for me it's Halloween, what is your favorite ghost-type move? Any ghost-type move that you like to use, whether it's in-game or competitive. As for me, there's a lot of really fun ones. Shadow Ball obviously is your go-to damaging ghost-type move. But one I always really liked is Curse, which is, of course, the move that has a different effect for ghost types. It actually used to be a question mark type, but they actually eventually changed to Ghost because it was like the one move that was of that type. Probably just a good move. But, yeah, obviously for Ghosts, it halves your HP, I believe, and puts a Curse on your opponent that does 25% damage every turn, but it's really usable by non-Ghost. In fact, I think it's better in non-Ghost, which it works like Bulk Up before Bulk Up was a thing. It does lower your speed by 1, though, but it's still usable in a lot of Pokemon. In fact, obviously with the Gen 2 games coming out on the 3DS, we're starting to get some more Curse monsters that are interesting, because Curse was a TM? I think a TM in that generation. So, yeah, leave a comment about that and see you guys again next time. Later.